right, welcome back, fellow jazz bums. We are doing the record of the week. We are a week or two late due to circumstances, but we're getting in there. So I think this is the fourth record of the week. Is that right,
Yep.
Chris? Or just number
That's
3?
correct.
Okay. So we're at number 4. This is a Sam Records title, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But the title itself is the Heath Brothers. This is, I think, the most recent new reissues. This, along with, there was the what was the other one that was got a lot
Steve
of time?
Job.
Yeah, that is at the, I forget what it is, but anyway, we're going to review the Heath Brothers here. So the first thing to mention is that Fred from Sam Records, he has had to put a hold on his business because of personal reasons. So we are unable to order anything from the website. He basically is dealing with some heart issues. So we have sent best wishes to him. It sounds like he's on the mend and he'll be okay. So we're super, grateful for that.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's get into the record itself. This is the Heath Brothers. Chris, you want to take it away?
Yeah, I mean it's a live recording from 1976. Apparently, I've lost my copy. When we did our recent video on our top 5 Sam Records albums, Mike, I think you picked that as your favorite one, right?
I think so, yeah.
And so I had it at number 2, and I think Felipe had it at number 2. So it's the sound on it is ridiculously good. It's out of the ENA stuff, right? From the French, the French government thing that stores all of the archives of their television and audio stuff. And to me, it's one of the best sounding of those that have ever been released. I mean,
yeah,
it's the same place that Zev gets a lot of his stuff, but the sound on it's amazing. And then the music wise, we can get into the tracks, and Mike, you have notes about it, but I really like it. When we first got it, I think I listened to it 4 or 5 times, and I listened to it again today, and it's just really good.
Nicole, did you ever listen to the Heath Brothers? Any of Jimmy, Albert, Tootie, their stuff?
I've seen them live. That's
all 3.
All 3 of them.
Wow.
Back in like in the early 70s, or in that period of time, over at Keystone Corner.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I've never, I have not heard that record. I have it, but I haven't heard it.
Mm-hmm.
But the Heath Brothers are just amazing, ensemble by itself. So
yeah,
because that was recorded in 1976.
Yes.
And you know who the piano player is on it?
No, I don't. Like I said,
Stanley Cowell.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've seen Stanley Cowell separately. So
yeah, it's excellent. I mean, what is the record that we were talking about listening to, since you can't stream this one? Is it the Strata East title?
Yeah, so they have a similar session. I think it's same tracks, but it's studio. I could be wrong with that.
Yeah.
And it is called Marching On, and it even has like a brown cover like this, but I mean it's not like this, but I mean it's
right.
The same kind of a tone.
That is a great cover.
So this cover, we could jump into this for a second. So
yeah,
I looked this up because I was like, it's kind of in the idea of like David Stone Martin, but obviously not. So I looked up who it was, and the cover artist is Jean-Louis Dorleek, and he does a lot of the Sam Records covers, I think, including like the reissues. Like he recreates and works.
Cool.
So anyway, so this is his he drew this, so he got the cover art, but he's really involved with Fred, and I think he's credited on I don't know if all the records, but a lot of the records. So he does the original artwork on this. So anyway, so that's the cover, and it's totally like a David Stone Martin style, I think.
Yeah,
not to but a little bit, maybe not.
I mean, that Marching On record's expensive too.
Yeah, that's very expensive. Hundreds of dollars.
It's the exact same group, so I mean, I think it's kind of neat.
So since this is a first, well, we have this. Let me make myself big. So the Sam Records, they come with
That's
photo
cool.
inserts. So there is the three
Jimmy
brothers,
Heath.
and notice this cello body here,
Yeah.
because that I believe was connected to. It had like something special about it, where it's like Ray Brown or somebody made it for him.
Oh,
And
cool.
I forget what the exact story. Actually, I may have written it down. Hold on. Yeah, so Percy's bass with a cello body, Ray Brown made it. So that is the cello there. So
That's really cool.
Physically made it or had it made?
I guess he augmented it or something, I would imagine. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's the label. It's first time issued. So
Very cool.
I like the whole aesthetic of Sam Records. It's cool.
So what are the titles on there? 'Cause
Understated. What?
I think there's more titles on the other record, but Smilin' Billy Suite is definitely on there. Smilin' Billy's on this one. What are the first two
Well,
tracks?
some of the credits on here are lacking. The Heath brothers, Jimmy Heath, sax and flute, Stanley Cowell, piano, Percy Heath, bass and cello, Albert Tootie Heath, who just passed away, is on drums, and there's also a marimba player that is uncredited. So one of these guys play marimba at some point.
I was wondering about that when I listened to it.
It's just really weird they wouldn't credit, because it is such a, on side 2, it's like a huge instrument.
It is.
So
and then
what's going
on? Jimmy Heath played flute, tenor, and soprano sax on that.
But anyway, that's the back cover. Oh yeah, so they play they record 2 live tracks on side A and then 1 track on side B.
I really like the second side the best, I think.
I think it's all good though. It's all good.
Yeah.
No,
I agree. It's all good.
All right, so Roberto, welcome, Roberto.
Thank you. Yeah, I bought it when it was released, and to be sincere with you, I was not impressed during the first listen. I liked it, but it was not like, it didn't feel like I was going to play it multiple times. But Chris, when he chose this for Record of the Week, he also put in a link for the studio album. I don't know if you guys have already spoke over about that out. Yeah, March.
Yeah,
so what pressing of the Strata East did you get?
So I got a bootleg.
Oh.
So I ordered
Are you sure it's a bootleg?
Huh?
Are you sure it's a bootleg?
Yeah, I think it was. Rob bought one too, and I think it was an official reissue. I don't know what was the reissue label, but mine, I think it was a bootleg based on the Discogs information.
Okay.
It came warped, but I was listening to it a lot on YouTube. Marching On, I'm talking about.
Right.
And I really liked that album. And I went back to the live album, and it made me appreciate more the live album.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end, I liked it a lot more compared to the first impression when I bought it. And this album actually has, I think most of it is Marching On. 2 of them, right? Watergate Blues and Smilin' Billy.
Yeah.
So this is the cover of the Strata East version that we're referencing. So Albert, Jimmy, Percy with Stanley Cowell, so it's the same group. And then they're doing Warm Valley, which I'm pretty sure is on this one. Tafa Hawley, the Watergate.
Yeah, those two songs actually sound like Zelda, like the video game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has flute, Warm Valley, and what is it?
Tafadali.
They sound very different. It's like a Zelda game in, I don't know, like in a Japanese garden. It just felt like that. It's weird, but yeah.
And then what did you think of Smilin' Billy Suite?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Each part has its own style. The first one is very slow, I think, and the bass player is who has the kind of like the center stage. And I don't know, I think maybe part 3 is when Tootie Heath has his drum solo and also plays this weird instrument that is like an African flute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I really like it, and I think those two are the songs that stand out for me on the live album too. The Watergate Blues and the other one, the Billy Sweet.
Really sweet. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that actually. I mean, what is the other one called? One for Juan. That's a Jimmy Heath tune. It was good.
Yeah, it's
but
a good
I
warm-up.
liked, and it's long. It's 13 minutes long, but I liked Watergate Blues and Smiling Billy the best.
Well, Watergate Blues is like, I mean, hold on, what did I put? I just feel like the thing is, it's a Percy Heath led. He wrote the composition, so
Yes.
it starts with him on. He's doing like a bass solo or
Yeah.
cello. I forgot, but it's like a call and response with the drummer, and that's like how it starts, like really long-winded bass like entry, and it's just like totally bass dominated, but it's a total blues at the same time.
Mhm.
So it's I don't know, it's it sounds like a blues. So
Agreed.
it doesn't sound like a jazz, it sounds like a blues. Like there's definitely like a
Well,
distinction.
a lot of blues is call and response.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
And
cool, but
also
it's got like almost like a rock and roll vibe. Early like
really?
I feel like.
It's been a while, like I said.
Well, all that shit. I mean, everything came from the blues anyway, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's cool, but it's different. And then Smiling Billy, I feel like that's where like this marimba comes in. And it's like, why isn't this accredited? Do they not know who played? Which
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
Is it a contractual thing?
Actually, I think
contractual thing that
isn't like the thumb piano.
Oh,
Is
maybe
it?
it is.
Yeah, it's a thumb piano.
It's a kalimba, not a marimba. Yeah, it's a kalimba. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's correct. And it's really cool sounding too.
Yeah,
I mean,
by what's his name? The owner of Strata.
Okay, all cats off.
Stanley Cow?
Yeah, Stanley Cowell. Stanley Cowell is the one who plays it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It sounds like a marimba. It sounds like a wooden instrument that you will play with mallets, right? But it's actually
yes,
like a thumb piano.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Piano.
It's called a kalimba, right?
Okay, yeah. You guys are 100%. Just to show here, so on the Sam Records, this is unaccredited, not anything in the website, the Discogs, or the record jacket itself. But on this early one, which is the same group, it has Stanley Cowell with
Mbira. Okay, it's not a kalimba. It's a Mbira.
Mabira. So that's probably what it is.
Cool. And it's a really neat sound. And then, so the Jimmy Heath part where you're talking about he's playing some African flute or something, is that not the soprano sax he was playing there? I don't know. It's a really interesting sound.
He is. So here it says he plays flute, tenor, and soprano.
So I'm just wondering if he got that sound out of the soprano or if it was a different instrument, Roberto.
I think it's a different instrument, and actually is Tootie Heath who plays
Oh,
it.
is it? Oh,
It
okay.
sounds like a Scottish bagpipe, actually, like a high pitch. Are we talking about that same part of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me too of the weird horn that oh god, what's his name? Help me out, Nicole. The guy that used to play, Roland Kirk, like the little weird horns that Roland Kirk used to play. It kind of reminded me of that sound.
Yeah.
And I had to
William
search all
Parker
this
plays that
because
same kind of horn.
I had to search all this because there were, different sounding instruments, and there are only 4 of them playing.
Right.
And I look for it, and all the information is in the Marching On, and Marching On gives you who played what.
Very cool.
But I do want to give a shout out. I feel like having a Heath Brothers record in your collection is awesome, and Sam Records putting this out. I know that there's like Heath Brothers records on like maybe Columbia, and they're not that expensive, but you start looking at like Jimmy Heath Riverside records and Muse records. Those are getting up in price. These like all 3 are like legends.
Yeah,
so to have like a session together, and obviously Marching On is like crazy expensive. So anyway, so it's cool. I feel like that Fred put this out. I feel like it's great to have these guys in the collection. Any final thoughts, guys?
If Strata East is watching this, please, if you're doing a reissue series, consider reissuing Marching On.
But I mean, final thoughts on this record for me are I really enjoyed it. I think people should pick it up. That's it.
Cool. Nicole?
One of these days I'll listen to it.
All right, very good. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Leave your comments of what you think about this record, and we'll see you next time.